Hello, welcome back. This is the third part of this series. So we're building this nice UI with the new SwiftUI framework. So right now we'll focus on this card view. So in the stories on Facebook, on Talk, or on Instagram, they have like a similar thing to this. They include like a profile picture, like the one we just built, a background image, and a text. So let's work on the background. So the background, you'll see it's not only an image, but it also needs like a nice gradient that goes dark on the bottom. So when we have white text, if we have a white picture, you will still be able to see it. So let's create that. So once again, Command N, new SwiftUI view, and let's call it background view. So as usual, let's hit resume so we can see live preview of what we are trying to accomplish. So, whoa, that's big. Oh yes, I was using 400% for the profile picture. So we need an image. So for that matter, I have once again a bunch of images here in the desktop, which is called stories. So let's add a bunch of stories. Just new folder from selection, and let's call it stories. So it doesn't become a mess so quickly. Okay, so we need some story. So once again, let's replace this text with an image, and let's just for now hard code it to story 1. So we have one picture, it's rendering the live preview, and we have a nice background. So let's change it to one of those pictures. I happen to have like very nice pictures. What about this one? Oh, nice boats. Okay, so we have a picture. So once again, we don't want the picture going like all the way. So we can do some things like as we did before. We can call resizable. We can call aspect ratio. This should all look pretty normal by now. Okay, so we have that. But it would be nice to have like a nice gradient down here, so we can read the text when it's white. So if you want to add something, you'll see that, let's say we are I don't know if we have a rectangle here. Oh yes, we have. So if you try to add something here, you can see that like a blue outline appears on top. So this means that it's going to be added on top. Now we have blue, etc. So depending on where I'm moving it, it's trying to add it. So let's add it on the bottom so we can see what's happening. So it automatically created like a rectangle and embedded everything within this tag. So this is not exactly what we want, but I think it would be nice to understand what we're trying to accomplish. So some things about the rectangle that are quite interesting in my opinion, is that, for example, we can change the background color to become a view. So we can say, for example, a color the green. But you'll see that as soon as you do this, it seems like nothing happened. And that's because the rectangle is formed of 2 layers. So if you don't change the foreground color to clear, you won't see the background color. But something interesting to note here is that the foreground is just a color, but the background is a view. So that means that if you want to do anything that is more interesting or complicated than just a color, then you need to change it on the background and make sure your foreground is clear. So here, we don't want just a solid green color. What we're trying to do is create a linear gradient. So this is something that's very nice in SwiftUI. Just create a linear gradient. Let's add like an enter so we can see properly. So we have a gradient. Let's align everything. It's asking for a gradient. So if you just create a gradient, it will request for an array of colors. So you can say, for example, something like current.orange and color.red. Starting point, you can say top, endpoint, bottom. And even though you just did like everything right and you follow all the constructors, you'll see that still doesn't work. And that's because some corner radius is needed. So that's a bit weird. I'm sure they'll fix that in the future. Let's see if I did anything weird. No, that's it. So you have a nice rectangle with all this. So we don't want this as one of our story pictures, but rather than a V stack, which is vertical, we can change, for example, for a H stack, which is horizontal, and you won't see anything here because one is on the right and one is on the left, but we want rather a C stack. So C stacks or set stacks are how we compose things like in 3D. So this means that we have an image on the background and we have a rectangle with all the grading and all the fancy stuff on top. So if we just wanted to use this, there's something else we can add, which is called opacity. And just like that, we have like a very nice and subtle opacity on top. We can change it until it appears. Let's make it build, give it a. So in our case, we don't want an orange to red background, but we want something closely, more close to, for example, a gray with opacity 0, and then we want something like black with opacity maybe 0.7. Let's just delete this. So now we have like a nice, very subtle gradient that it starts from up here and goes all the way down to here. Something interesting is that we don't need to, for example, call it from the top. So if you press dot, you have like all the options. So we have something like center. So that means that this overlay that we are using, it will start right here in the middle and it will slowly go down to the bottom. So once again, to make this view useful, let's add like an image name, a string. Let's call this with image name, and instantly we'll get an error here. So if you just let it autocomplete, we can call story 4. I think this was story 4. Let's hit resume, and everything works as expected. Cool, let's wrap it up for now. I hope this was clear. Once again, let me know in the comments. Share, like, bell, everything, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.